Welcome to Nabeel Math Academy. This is Dr. Mohammed Nabeel. In this video, we are going to discuss about the triple integral. In the previous video, we have discussed about the how to evaluate the single integration and double integration. Now we will go with the triple integral. So this is the same thing we will do it here. So we have to evaluate the integrate innermost from the innermost. Start the solving the problem from the innermost integral. This is the limit of z and this is the limit of y and the last is the constant limit. This is the outermost limit. And by the way, this is very helpful in calculating the volume of the unshaped curve. So any curve we can find it the volume using the triple integral. Let us start with the first problem here. Evaluate the triple integral. This is the function which is given, but this domain, the B, is a rectangular box which is given by x ranges from 0 to 1, y ranges from -1 to 2, and the limit of z is 0 to 3. So how will you evaluate this integral? So this is the same thing. I will write it integral, triple integral x y z square. I will start with the z dz dy and dx. So what is the limit correspondingly? So the limit of z, so this is the innermost limit which is 0 to 3. What about the next one? The x y limit. The y limit is here we will have -1 to +2. And here the next one, the x limit, which is 0 to 1. So if you see this one, all the limits are constant here. So all the limits, if you see this one, so all the limits is a constant. Limits are constant in this problem. Limits are constant. So we will go with the innermost integral as usual. So the innermost integral, I have to evaluate this one with respect to z first. So when you evaluate with respect to z, x, y is a constant, z power 3 over 3. The limit is 0 to 3. Since it is a product, I will write it this one. If it is a plus, if you have like this, so then we will do it x z plus y z plus z square over 2. But here there is no plus is there. So that's why we will, since it is in the product, so therefore I will keep it as it is. So no need to do it this one. If it is plus, you have to do it in this format. In this format what we done now. So now we will do it. It is in the product. Apply the limit. You will get what? 27 over 3, which is the 9, which is 9, which is equal 9xy. So this is the 9xy. I will substitute here 9xy. What is the integration? The integral is integral -1 to 2 and integral 0 to 1. Here we have a dy and dx. Now I will integrate one more time. So always go with the innermost integral first. So the innermost integral, integrate with respect to y. 9x is a constant. Therefore, if you integrate with respect to y, it is 2x y square over 2. The limit is -1 to 2. Now, if you substitute the limit, what happened? The 1 over 2 I am taking outside the integrate. If the outside the limit, so if you substitute 2 square, which is 4, minus -1 square, which is 1. So therefore, the answer will be 3. Here multiplying, you will get 27x over 2. So since 27 over 2 is a constant, we will take it outside the integral. So you will get this one is equal to 27 integral 0 to 1. You have a x dx. So after integrating, you will get x square over 2. The limit 0 to 1. Now if you substitute the limit, you will get 27 over 2. 1 over 2 minus 0. So which is equal 27 over 4. So this is the final answer. If you see this one, first step, you will find it the triple integral. So this is the triple integral. So after evaluating the innermost integral, it becomes a double integral. So after evaluating the innermost integral, this will become a single integral. So like this, you have to do it for all the problem. For all the problem, do it in the same rule. Now, let us go with the next one. What is the difference between the last problem and this problem? Whereas in the last problem, all the limits are constant. Whereas here you will have a limit as a variable, So here the limits are variable. So how will you solve this one? It is as usual the same thing what we'll do it in that double integral. So the y ranges from 0 to len x. What is the limit of x? The limit of x is 0 to 2z, and always the constant limit is outside limit. Outermost limit is a always must be a constant limit. So therefore I have to evaluate this one. It's the same thing we will do it. I evaluate the innermost integral first. So with respect to y, when you in with respect to y, x is a constant e power minus y over minus 1. The limit is 0 to len x. I am taking this minus outside. You will get minus x. Apply the limit. You will get e to the power minus len e minus e power 0, which is 1. Now how will you find it? This one here. You will find it this part. This is the property of the logarithmic rule. You will have b raised to the power log x base b. I can cancel everything. I write it x. It's the same story. I will write it here. E to the power minus len x. I will move the minus here in the power. So you will get e to the power len x to the power minus 1. So I will bring this power here. I will bring the minus 1 in the power. So you will get this one. So what is a len? Len means it has a base. It has a base. Len is x to the power minus 1 base. Therefore, it get cancelled. You will get what? X to the power 1. So I will cancel this one. So I write it here minus x here x to the power minus 1 minus 1. So r we can write it as here 1 over x. X power minus 1 is 1 over x. Now multiply inside. What is the multiplication? So here you will get minus of plus minus, x with the x cancel, you will get minus 1. Here minus into minus plus, we will get plus x. So or you can write it the first term plus and the next term minus, x minus 1. So if I substitute this value in the integral, what happened here? So this integral becomes, so I have to substitute x minus 1. And what are the integral? Outer integral. Integral you have 0 to 2z, which is the limit of x, and the z limit, which is the constant limit 0 to 2. Now here we will have what? So our do it the innermost integral again. So what is the integration with respect to x? X square over 2 minus x. The limit is 0 to 2z. When I substitute the limit here, 4z square over 2 minus 2z. The entire lower term becomes 0. The lower limit becomes 0. So now if you simplify this one, you will get 2. So the answer will be here. The simplified form 2z square minus 2z. It is not equal 0 because here z square, here without square. So I have to substitute this one in the integral. So here you will have 2z square minus 2z, and the integral is 0 to 2 and dz. Now integrate this one. So upon integration, you will get 2z power 3 over 3 minus 2 times of z square over 2. The limit 0 to 2. So if it is simplify, you can simplify this part. It is 2 with the 2 cancel. Now apply the upper limit. It is 2 times of 8 over 3 minus 4. So this is the upper limit minus lower limit, enter term 0 because you will have a 0. Now after that we will use the same technique. What we'll do? Use the calculator, directly write it the answer. The answer will be 5 over 3. Use the Cal C. So same rule for all the problem, you can do it. Now the next problem is a special problem in which you don't have a limit and you have to find it the limit from the graph. And mostly the graph will be given in the question. So here the graph is given in the question. It is like the same graph. We will have it here, same graph. The solid space of this, you have x, y and z. So this is x and y and z. So here you will have, this is the y equal line, x equal y line, and we will have here and here. Yes, this is the same port we will have. So this is the region we have. Now, how will you find the limits here? The first thing is to calculate the limits. So this is the surface. With the surface, this is the surface. You have a surface, this one, which is what given. Z is equal 12xy. This is the Z. Now the next one we have it here. So x value. What is the y value? The y value is ranges from 0 to, this is the line, this part, this face, that face, which is the y equal x plane. This is the plane, y equal x plane. So how will you find it the limit? This is very easy. See here. So I write it the three dimension. When you compare the three dimension, z equals 0 to z equal to the surface. What is that surface? This surface. So it is 12xy. What is the y limit? Y equals 0 to y equal, that is y equal to the plane. What is the plane? Y equals 0 to the plane. This is y equal x. Now, this is the constant limit which is given in the question. Therefore, the x limit will be the constant. This is equal what? 1. This is the equal 1. So always the x will be the outer limit. The constant limit is always the outer limit. So I will write it this one. The integration, the function is given as z here. So I write it as it is, triple integral z first dz, dy and dx. The limit of z. What is the limit of z? 0 to 12xy. What is the limit of y? 0 to x. What is the limit of x? The outer limit, constant limit, which is 1. Now you have to evaluate this integral. Before it was the limit is given, but here limit is not given. You have to find the limit by using the figure, and graph will be given in the question. So how will you integrate this one? So this is the integration, z square over 2. So the limit is 0 to 12xy. So if you substitute this one, 1 over 2 I am taking outside. If you apply the limit, 144 x square y square. If you cancel this one, it is 72. So this is the 72 x square y square. So this is the simplification part. Now I will just substitute this one in the integral. So what happened? This I substitute 72. I will take it outside the integral. Inside will be x square y square, since it is a variable. Now I write it as it is. What is the integral? Integral 0 to x and integral 0 to 1. And this is dy and dx. Now again I have to go with the innermost integral. So again innermost integral with respect to y. Therefore x is a constant. So therefore x is a constant. So it is 72 x 0 to 1, 0 to x, it is x square dy dx, it is dy dx. Now I have to integrate the innermost integral. What is the innermost integral? So with respect to y. So with respect to y means x square is a constant, y power 3 over 3. The limit 0 to x. When you apply 1, the x over 2 over 3, apply the limit x power 3 minus 0. So answer will be x power 5 over 3. So these 3 I will take it outside the integral. 72 already is there over 3. Integral 0 to 1. And what is this function? You have x power 5. You have only one function, which is what? Only one variable, that is with respect to x. Now integration, what is this one? This is equal. This is 2 times. If you have 1, you will have 4. So 24. So therefore 24, if you integrate 6 over 6, 0 to 1. And these 6 get cancelled 4 times. You will have 4. The limit 1 minus 0. So answer will be 4. So this is the final answer. So how will you calculate the limit? Now the next one, here you will have a function and a graph is given. See here. Now in the last problem we will have the x equal 1. It is clearly mentioned. From that we will notice that this is the outer limit. This is the outer limit. The constant limit is the x limit. But here it is not the case. It is given x and y equal. But instead of that one, it is given a hint in the question. What is that? So there is a point of intersection which is given in this part. So here This is the y limit is the outer limit. How will you calculate this one? The limit, see the limit. So I will do it here. So z is as it is. Z implies 0 to 4 minus y square. And this is the x limit, which is the in between intermediate limit, which is 0 to y, 0 to y. And what about the y limit? On y limit, and calculating the y limit, I will do it on y axis. What happened on y axis? In y axis, z equals 0, x equals 0. When I substitute z equals 0 here, what happened? 0 equal 4 minus y square. Move it here. Y square is equal 4. Y equal what? Plus or minus 2. So you will get the positive part. We will take it only the positive quadrant, first octant. So I will take y equal 2. So therefore this is the point which is y equal 2. So the limit of y is 0 to 2. So this is what you will have. And simply you will do it the same integration. So integral, you will have the function xy is given, the limit dx, dy, dz. dz with the innermost integral. dz is the innermost integral. So this is the limit of z and this is the limit of x and the outer limit which is the y limit. After that is the same thing, integrate with respect to z, and then you will have a double integral again with respect to x. You will have simplify, apply the limit, simplify. You will have a single integral integration and use the calculator. Thank you.